episode, iteration, rendition, whatever you want to call it, of Fireside ASMR. The first Fireside ASMR video was done in portrait mode. Tonight, I will be filming in landscape mode, but very similar to last time in that I'm not using my tripod or the camera gimbal to hold it steady, so please forgive any shakes or any bumps in the video. I hope you're ready to relax and enjoy some peaceful fire sounds. Hear the fire popping like crazy. And some whispering, rambling, and just peaceful night sounds. If you like what you hear and want to see more, please check out my channel. Like this video, subscribe, or comment below with any suggestions you might have for future videos or additional sound assortment, triggers, or tingles. This evening, we are enjoying another beverage from Daddy's Sippy Cup. Another concoction of my own creation. It is 3 parts C4 strawberry energy drink and 1 part wild turkey. Delicious. I'm recording this on Friday evening. I hope you all had a wonderful week. Whenever you're watching this video, for whatever purpose, I hope it provides some relaxation. I think the next video that I'll be recording is going to be either a traditional sound assortment recorded with the Blue Yeti, or possibly a knife collection video that I plan on doing in the very near future. A couple other ideas that I had, and you'll have to let me know down below in the comments what you think of these ideas. But I was considering doing a nighttime walking in the woods, whispering in the woods video, and I'd wear my headlamp for a little bit of light, but most of it will be fairly dark screen with whispering and leaf sounds and general nature sounds. So I imagine that will be quite relaxing. Take another sip of my wild turkey and C4. Sounds explosive. I think we should put another log on the fire to keep her going. This so that'll be alright. Fire will take care of that for us. Party foul. Daddy's sippy cup went down. But the show must go on. And we continue to proceed. Maybe try some different camera angles as I whisper here. I really get to enjoy some of that up close fire. Just picture or feel the warmth coming off the fire. It's a nice, brisk October evening. Where I'm at, it's about 43 degrees. But right here next to the fire, it feels amazing. What a beautiful fire. Ow. Whew, that was my hand. It's a nice still evening. You see the flames reaching upward as opposed to moving dramatically side to side. That tells you that the airflow is a lot more still than previous nights. We are officially out of the burn ban, as you can see from the photographic evidence directly in front of you. I'm going to take a little bit more time on this video, I think, and just really use it to slow my mind down, and hopefully it helps you slow your mind down if that's what you're looking to do. But I assume if someone's watching a video for relaxing and ASMR, that they are looking for something that will slow that means, you know what that means. If you don't, well, you can always Google it, or I guess the alternative is you can ask your grandpa. He'll know. I know that this video is fairly basic in its nature, but it's quite relaxing recording this. And so it's also my hope that listening to it and hearing the night sounds and the popping and crackling of the fire you can hear an airplane in the background. It sounds like a smaller plane, which is not common at this time of night. But there is a small airport nearby. And by small, I mean it's small and the runway is grass. Sounds like she's doubling back. Look at some of those purples and bright yellows and the white charred ash. Brown of the wood. I don't know if I mentioned this because prior to spilling my sippy cup, I had consumed a couple of them already. So again, I don't recall if I mentioned this, but I'd like to try to make this a little bit longer video than some of the other previous short form videos that I've done, aside from the compilation video. If you have any thoughts on which of the short form videos, not the shorts, but the 15 to 20 something minute videos that I've been doing, let me know your thoughts on which one you liked the best. If there's any of the series that I've started that you like, or any of the series that I've mentioned that I'm interested in creating or making, I guess, for a lack of a better term. But if you have any thoughts on that, please let me know down below in the comments. Your comments and subscribing and likes on the video help this channel grow. It helps us get more exposure with the YouTube algorithm. So any support that you can offer by way of liking, subscribing, or commenting below, I would greatly appreciate and will help bring this relaxation to more and more individuals, which is an incredible dream. I mean, we're tiny. We are tiny right now as of the recording of this video, but it doesn't matter how many we are. We're in this together. We obviously all have an interest in relaxation videos to support whatever our current goals are, whether it be taking a nap, going to bed, studying, working, driving. Although I recommend making sure that you're wide awake before driving, listening to ASMR. However, there are times where, when in traffic and high anxiety situations, listening to a good tapping, crinkling, water sounds, whispering, rambling video is just, as they say, what the doctor just what the doctor ordered. Let's move it a little bit closer on the fire here and see if we can pick up just a little bit more of the fire sounds. Do you feel the warmth? Oh, it feels amazing. I can feel the heat on my face, and I keep my feet and boots just close enough that it gets a little bit of warmth, just a little bit of warmth on these steel toe boots, and then that keeps my toes nice and toasty. Why isn't that low roar of the fire just a little rumble? Isn't that incredible? I hope you all had an incredible day. Or if you're watching this on a Friday, like when I'm recording it, I hope you had a wonderful week and have some relaxing, peaceful, and enjoyable weekend plans. After a long, hard work week, it's such a nice feeling to relax and spend some time in nature or just outside. Or if you don't have the option, just having your windows open on a brisk fall night, and how incredible that feels. I sleep with my window cracked or open almost every evening. I just love the smell of the outdoors creeping in, the fresh oxygen from the incredible trees on our property. It's amazing how Mother Nature provides as the water filters through the mountain or hills and is naturally filtered by the earth. Earth puts in it. And we've had it tested. And the purity of the water comes back on par or better than most of the commercially available bottled waters. But with a higher mineral content in some of the important categories, which gives it the flavor, or I guess the texture, or whatever it is that creates a crisp beverage experience. I apologize for the additional pause or cut in video recording there. I'm trying to give a little bit of what it's like to spend an evening by the fire, by my barn, as it's one of the most peaceful and relaxing experiences. We used to live in a city, and I had a small yard, and I liked to go outside then, but I always wanted more property and land. And when we saw the opportunity to move out of the city and into a very rural community, and we are actually about 5 miles outside of that rural town with minimal population, but we're close enough to a larger community, town, city, I guess it would be technically, and within about 4 hours of New York City. And so we're close enough to anything that we want, close enough to drive to shows or events or sporting events. And so it's a perfect situation because where our house is located feels like the middle of nowhere, which is exactly what I was looking for. The seclusion and privacy has allowed my brain to slow down, at least when I'm at home on the property, or as sometimes I call it, the compound, because my dream is to have multiple homes or domiciles, mini homes, or whatever on the property for my children, so that way they can be close. Currently, we just have the house, a shed, and the barn that we're in front of right now. plans to add a 2-stall garage with a door, as this barn is an open face barn, which I guess is fairly common in this area, but not something that I was accustomed to as a regular occurrence where we moved from. So adding that 2-stall barn, and hopefully in theory having it be a 2-level, and on the top level having additional space of either a mother-in-law suite-esque property above the barn, or like a workout facility and studio for art creation, whether it be these videos and a studio for creating studio-based sounds for a variety, or painting, which I like to do. I haven't done oil painting in many years, although I enjoy doing it. The results, or the, I guess, product, if you will, of my painting is not always the objective or end result necessarily, but I find the act of painting and creating art, even if it's not something that others would appreciate, I find it to be very enjoyable, and like to spend time doing art functions, I guess, is kind of how I look at it. They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I think a lot of the art that I create is purely for my own enjoyment. If I create something that I think is worth sharing, maybe I will include that in one of my videos. If you have any interest in seeing that, please comment below. And also, if you create art, I encourage you to share that in the comments. A link to your art, or a link to videos that you create, whether they be for relaxation or other types of art. I would love for you to share what you do that brings you enjoyment, even if it's something more, I guess, or less relaxing than sitting by a fire. Maybe it's something more along the lines of tearing around your yard on a dirt bike, or riding a snowmobile, or working on a vintage car. Comment below what you do besides watching ASMR videos for relaxation. Me, aside from ASMR videos, watching them and now creating them. I also like to exercise. My go-to is running, particularly distance running. This summer, I was attempting to train for a marathon, not any particular race necessarily, but more a marathon that I was going to run on my own. And I was able to build up my mileage. I got held up around the 10-mile mark and acquired a hydration pack, like a Camelback style water or hydration system. I would use Gatorade in mine, and so then I was able to get up to approximately 16 miles on my longest training run, and had some foot injuries and other life occurrences, I guess, that came up that derailed me a little bit from my training. I was able to get a little bit back on track, and then got a kidney stone, which sometimes takes me out of running, sometimes not. In fact, running sometimes helps the process of passing kidney stones. But this particular time was quite uncomfortable, and I wasn't able to do a lot of running. And then now the temperature has gone down and the sun starts going down early, and I'm not a huge fan of running in the evenings in the dark, as most of the running I do is along 2-lane country highways, and people don't always pay as close attention in the dark as they should. And so I decided I was going to just try to maintain the progress that I had made in my cardiovascular improvements without continuing to put my body through the brutal damage of long distance, or I guess ultra long distance running in terms of comparison to what I'm used to. When I run for general exercise, I try to keep it between 3 and 5 miles for distance, so that I don't put excessive wear on my joints, as a lifetime of running will create havoc on your joints long term. I've had to increase the amount of cross training that I do with my running in order to stay injury free. And so I've added some what I refer to as hillbilly CrossFit. Shocking, right? In my hillbilly CrossFit, I do hill runs on the property. I have a punching bag, a heavy bag that I use. I've purchased a speed bag. As you might know from a previous video, I used one of the foam pads from the use as part of the Hillbilly CrossFit, but I also have a large tractor tire that I will hit with a sledgehammer or will do tire flipping, or I have a log that I will lift, kind of like one of the training montage videos from the Rocky movies. And so I do several of those things to try to maintain my conditioning and help prevent running injuries. What are some of your favorite exercise or outdoor activities? Comment below.